Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's TAG97 again. Today we'll be going over the KEL-TEC CMR30. Also, guys, I want to mention that I have an Instagram, which you can find in the description. Click on a link and it goes directly to my IG. Just hit that follow button and you can ask me any questions you want about my gear or weapons or anything else that pops in your head that you need to ask me. I want to thank Logan very much for donating the firearms to the channel so we may do the reviews. And also saying thank you to my viewers, subscribers, and followers on Instagram. I love and appreciate you guys so much for supporting me and how far we came and look where we are. So thank you very much. Also, one more thing, guys, I want to mention. Please don't skip. I recently started a Patreon, which you can find in the description. Just click on that and you go directly to the website. If you'd be so kindly to donate, that would be highly appreciated. I want to thank Benjamin for being my first Patreon on Patreon. And so thank you very much, bro, for being the first one, and hopefully many more to come. So let's talk about everybody's favorite subject, size. So do great things come in small packages? For this little guy right here, yes it does. So this KEL-TEC CMR30 22 Win Mag is actually pretty cool. So yes, this is a carbine, not a pistol. Now you're probably saying, well, the length is really short, that barrel looks short too. I'll get to that, don't worry. We're going to talk about the overall size real quick on the outside of it. So, when the stock is collapsed, remember, not arm brace stock, it is 22.5 inches overall length, and then when you extend that stock out, it now becomes 29.9 inches. So it is pretty compact, and then it could turn into a full-size rifle at moment's notice on your demand. One thing I would say that's really cool is that this will fit in your center console of a car, not inside the actual compartment, but between the seat and the center console. You could slide the firearm right in there. If you need a carbine for your car or truck or whatever you're doing, you can pull it out easily, have it by the window, and you're not even touching the window, and you can still aim out of there. So for something tactical and you want some fast response, maybe this would be a good car gun for you. Keep in mind that certain states will probably have that as a law, that you can't have a loaded rifle inside the cabin of your car. It probably has to be locked or whatever. So make sure you check your state laws before you do anything that crazy. But I would say it is pretty cool. So moving up in the world. Now if you're asking me, TAG97, how is this not a pistol? How is this a rifle? I got you, fam. Sit down. So the overall length of this barrel is 16.1 inches. So it does meet the requirements to be considered a rifle without being a short barrel rifle and going through ATF tax stamps, all that fun stuff, right? So the barrel starts from here all the way back here. That's where all the magic happens, just like the KSG. I did a review on that, which you should check out, by the way. The barrel twist rate is a 1.14. So the recommendation in your KEL-TEC book that comes with this firearm in a box recommends that you use 40 grain or higher. So the reason why is because the more heavier the grain, the better it will perform, cycle inside the firearm. That is what KEL-TEC recommends. Now you can shoot 30 grain or a little less than that if you can find any. But I did find out that I did have cycling issues, so I tested that theory and it was true. And also I tried different ammunition types and it did not like cycling hollow points. Then full metal jackets, it did not like that different constant switch on it. So I'd recommend using the same type in each mag. Now it will shoot hollow points, but make sure you're putting hollow points with hollow points, not full metal jacket, and switch it on and off. You may have cycling issues like I did. So overall, it is pretty sweet. You also can put a muzzle brake or a suppressor if it is licensed. If you decide to put an oil filter on there, then don't get caught, and I don't recommend that. So you do have many options with this. I just recommend that you use 40 grain or higher, just like KEL-TEC recommends, and you should have no issues cycling rounds. Okay, so moving on. So your mag release is right here at the bottom of the pistol grip. Push forward, grab the lip of the magazine, and now you have your magazine extracted. You get 2 of these when you buy the firearm new. If you get it used, you may get it, depending on what the previous owner did with it. So it's very simple to load this firearm. So let's just say theoretically I have one in my hand, right? The visible mag. So I'm out of ammo. So obviously my action is back. It's ready to go for a new one. There's two ways to load it. My personal favorite is you slap one in and all you do is release that bolt and it's good to go. You have one in the chamber. Now there is another option out there for those who are used more to a pistol platform. Is all you have to do is slap a magazine in and you have a pistol slide release like a normal handgun would. All you would do is push down on it and you simply have one locked in a chamber as well. So there is different methods of doing it. I personally don't like that, but it is something you'd have to get used to. This was my first time using the firearm, so there's certain things I had to get used to. Not every platform is always going to be the same. AKs, ARs, and then something like this. That's something that looks like an MP7 or something out of a sci-fi movie. It takes a little use to getting used to. So I would say it is pretty cool. This is something you have to practice with so you get more proficient with the weapon. So the KEL-TEC CMR30 22 mag has a 5-pound trigger pull, just like the KEL-TEC KSG 12 gauge shotgun. So we're going to test that theory out real quick. So I'm going to take it off safe. It's now on fire. Now the firearm has been cleared, so you don't have to worry. There's nothing in the chamber, and there's obviously no magazine. So I'm going to put about 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. So a 5-pound trigger pull, and it's good to go. Put it back on safe. So you don't want a trigger that's too heavy or too light. You need that in-between spot, and I think 5 pounds is perfect for a rapid fire and safety, just in case you accidentally somehow forget your trigger discipline and you put your finger on a trigger and you negligently discharge. So let's talk about the weight real quick. So the firearm unloaded, nothing in the chamber, magazine, no attachments, anything extra aftermarket. The firearm itself that comes straight out of the box is 3.8 pounds. So for a carbine, that's extremely light. So you're way more easily able to move around corners and overall clear a house of any sort that you're going into. And if you want to use it as a carbine firearm, this would work perfectly. It is extremely light, and this is probably a good rifle for younglings. I would probably say maybe 10 years old, maybe 7 pushing it. This is a good carbine or first carbine for them. So let's talk about the price. So the prices I've seen that range between $450 and then all the way up to $630 for this firearm. Now, it depends if you're buying online, going to a mom and pop shop or your local gun store, or buying directly from KEL-TEC itself. The price will always change on where you go and location. Now, if you're going to buy a firearm online, keep in mind you do have to spend gas to drive to that gun store. You have to buy and pay for the FFL transfer, and on top of that, sometimes they'll hit you with a shipping charge. So you may win some, you may lose some. Sometimes it's better off to go to your local gun stores and support your local gun stores. But I'm not pushing for that. It's your money, spend it how you want and where you want. I always recommend trying to save the most money you can so you can buy some more higher expensive upgrades for your firearm. So my personal experience, I always like to get the negative out of the way before the positive. This is how I am. So don't get offended if you disagree with me. This is my own personal opinion, so don't get upset. I personally do not like where the mag release is. I don't like having it there. I wish it was more up here where a normal pistol grip or handgun would have that mag release. And somewhat of the slide release, I don't like how high up it is because my thumb is not that long. It'd be maybe nicer to have it over here, but you can simply just rack that bolt back and then have it go forward, rack one in the chamber. So to each its own. I personally don't like it, and sometimes that does have issues cycling from full metal jacket and then hollow points. It needs to be able to cycle both without having any issues, but if you lube anything up enough, it will cycle it and it will keep going. So I would just recommend, if you're going to shoot this dry, probably not the best idea. You might want to lube it up. But what I love about this firearm is how small, compact it is. Like I mentioned before, that you can put this in your car between your seat and center console. Slide it in there, you can hide it there. Pull it out when it's time for action. It's a good small gun by your bed, or you can just do some little, play tactical stuff going on. And you can extend the stock anytime you want to have that ability as a full carbine or compact. So I do love how small it is. That's my favorite part. Now the caliber, I wish it was a little bit higher, but for a 22 Win Mag. And when I say Win Mag, I mean Winchester. It is shorter to saying Winchester, just so you know, if you didn't know already. So I do love this firearm. It is cool. Is it really for me? Not really, but it was fun to shoot. So thanks again to Logan for him lending the firearm. So let's get on to everyone's favorite part of the video, the shooting compilation. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did skip, please, please, please go back. If not, hit that skip button and keep skipping until you get to your favorite parts. Just make sure you like and subscribe to this video. I highly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. So one thing I'm going to say real quick is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it was extremely muddy. Now, the night before we went to the range, it was heavily raining, and it just flooded out that whole place, and the sand and mud just turned into like cake. And I don't know if you saw around my boots were just tons of mud, basically almost going to up my ankle. That's how bad it was. So the fact that I was even able to run with all that was a miracle of itself. So with that being said, the firearm was good. I'm going to show you real quick it being disassembled. So it is a couple parts, just like the KSG 12 gauge shotgun from KEL-TEC. It is simple to disassemble and reassemble. It is down to the basics of what you need to disassemble to clean the firearm. Now you can take off the barrel cover and then clean it a little bit more if you want to. You can do that, but recommendation is this for simple cleaning for you to get back out to the range and shoot some more. Overall, I like the firearm. It worked just well for me. It may be a firearm for you, it may not be, but I personally liked it and it was cool. So something a little different outside of my realm, but it was something I liked very much. So if you have any other questions about the video, always write down in the comment section. You know I always get back to you as soon as I can. Just please, please, please like this video and subscribe to TAG97. I got nothing more for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.